Hey guys, are you excited? Yes. Cheer!
Come on, are you excited? Yes! 1, 2, 3, so let's go.
I am, because it's one of the most important days in this semester, I think. Orestes, I think it's for you, it is as well. What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's great that we have the opportunity to be at this place, so big thanks to SAIS. And in fact, it reminds me of one of the great spaces that I saw some years back in Shanghai and said, we need something like that in Karlsruhe, but I think that's pretty on par. So I'm really happy that we're here. And spaces play a big role.
Yeah, and particularly these days where the air is so hot, we are pretty happy to have an air-conditioned building. So perhaps to begin with the idea of SIL, when we started with the following question, and we started with Carl Benz and asked when he painted his first car, and we realized that it was at the age of 41. And well, if you think of Elon Musk, when he founded his first company, he was just 24 or 25. So a big difference, and this big difference, if you ask students why you are not innovating, why are you are not the Elon Musk in Germany, well, it's not so trivial, and we realize there is a big inhibitor which well prohibits in some sense that students are capable to innovate, and one of which is that they do not practice it. They cannot build this into their syllabus of student life. And this is really important to get that integrated in the entire framework of the classical studies, which is, well, lectures and lectures, and this is somehow different to what we built here. And there is a group of professors, Orestes, Thomas Zwick, Willi Stork, Erik Sachs, well, fascinated by the idea that learning begins with making. And that's perhaps the basic idea of the Student Innovation Lab. Perhaps you want to comment.
Yes, I do. This morning we had also a presentation, so it's my second pitch session in which I am. And then after that we had a short flashlight and we asked the students, what do you think was special about this thing? And one of the most beautiful remarks was, oh, the professor didn't speak all the time. so that was interesting. And then I said, okay, but still we, every once in a while we can say a word. They said, okay, that's something you can do. But it's true that very often it is that you just listen. And of course, it's important to also have a theoretical orientation in many things. It's important, but it doesn't stop there. That's just the basis in order to get a really profound understanding of something. And of course, entrepreneurial activity is always about transforming the world, not just understanding it, but seeing something that is not there and seeing the potential of that thing. And then, of course, executing on that vision. And I think this is what we had to create room for.
Yeah, I think this is, in this respect, really special, because typically you have a well-defined lab where everything is predefined, your actions which have to be taken, the experiments, etc. If you do practical work in the engineering domain in particular. And here is completely different. If colleagues ask me what you do, I say, well, the students choose their topic. They choose their means. They choose what methods they want to use. They choose what theories they want to apply. And finally, we end up with something pretty new, where one of the wonderful feedbacks presented in at the video, the trailer at the beginning, where he said it's like working in the Silicon Valley. And I hope that it was this way, even if it was somehow painful over the last 2 or 3 weeks, just okay.
Yeah, maybe something that I can also say is that, I mean, in the current situation in which we are, and we discussed just before the event with some people from industry also, it's foreseeable that things will change. You know, there are things that are structurally changing. I think that's pretty obvious that this will happen over the next years, and it may be also difficult moments, we don't know. But ever more, you know, in these situations, it is the most important thing, the most important resource that we have is basically us human beings, you know, the next generation of people that will shape this world. And it is super important, especially in such situations, to imagine new ways. You know, structural change means that things that are there today and from which people live today will go away for various reasons. And if this is not to end up, you know, in a difficult situation for the society and everybody, it's up to creative people to take initiative and to take responsibility. And I think this is exactly what you need then. Yeah, you need to, how to say that, to activate the theories in a way, to activate the knowledge and to apply it and to combine it with human action, human energy, and follow up and follow through. And I think, at least I hope, we were able to create a framework that gives you the opportunity to develop the competences that have to do with that.
Yes, it's a good point. This would not be possible if other person help us in some sense. In particular, I want to thank at this position already the various research assistants helping us, in particular Mrs. Eckerle, who wants to guide us through the entire program today. And I think it's the point to hand over to you.
Yeah, hello also from my side. My name is Christine, and I have the honor to guide you through this day today. I also had the honor to teach the entrepreneurship seminar last semester and this semester, and that was a pleasure. And I'm very much looking forward to how you developed your prototype further. But for the audience here in the room and also virtually, I also want to tell you a bit about how this journey went on for our students. So they started in November last year with nothing but basic understanding of technological possibilities within their labs and the prospect of developing something of value for actual problems out there. And I think what they have achieved since then is outstanding. They have shown us very interesting prototypes already during the midterm pitch. And since then, they really understood their technology at hand. They understood their customer segment. Who are the customers that they are addressing? What are their actual problems and their needs? And yeah, we got some user testing in the gym. We had some people who really build a community of their potential customers, which I think are then more than just customers. We had also groups who tested their prototypes in a real life setting. So what we will see today, their business model pitches will really are built on a foundation of knowledge, and I'm really much looking forward to those pitches today. But before we dive into that, and we will see that, I also want to say thank you to our company partners. Without them, I think the SIL experience would only be half the experience for our students. They contributed with their technical knowledge, their distinct industry insights, their sponsorships, and also today they are part of our jury. So thank you for that. Especially, let me name them. So thank you to Siemens, Pepperland Fuchs, Vector, SEW Euro, and Zeiss. And also thanks for this venue. With that, I am very much looking forward to hear more about these companies. And I again hand over to Professor Hohmann for that.
I think there is nothing to add concerning the partners, but I want to highlight one fundamental thing. Typically, you have this type of sponsorships and things, but here the companies are substantially more involved in the entire thing. This goes to fireside talks, from fireside talks to practical applications, visits, discussions with the student groups. So there is a really, really close connection to the students and bringing expertise from the companies to the students. That's perhaps one thing, but also to make the day-to-day real, to have people who are in the role of deciding whether a new product will appear or not appear, and to get you excited, more or less, a little bit. And that's why we thought it's a good idea that these companies can present and pitch their company themselves. And I'm really, really happy that we can do this final event here at the SAIS Innovation Hub, and particularly in this wonderful building and in this wonderful atmosphere, in this wonderful, well, it's not typical, it's not a lecture hall, it's different to that. And therefore, very much thank you to you and to help us in this respect. And last but not least, you're new here, so I'm really excited, not in this building, of course, but within this Student Innovation Lab. So.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. You're more than welcome here. Let's see. Okay, so when we introduce Zeiss here, we usually look back at the beginnings when Carl Zeiss worked on his microscopes in very close collaboration with a university partner, Ernst Abbe, who developed basically the theory about the optics of a microscope. And that early collaboration between industry or entrepreneurship and university led to a success story that we're here continuing today in different segments with now over 30,000 employees and over 7 billion in revenue, now in different segments like solutions for optolithography, research, and lab solutions regarding microscopy, also for surgeons, for example, or lenses of all kinds for the consumer market. And here at the Zeiss Innovation Hub, we are basically back to the roots of this early collaboration with close contact to university partners, close contact to latest research and students. And we see that also a bit in the venue here, where we are not only Zeiss, but also have several startups of KIT and all these Zeiss startups in the building where we have close contact to these. And if we go a little bit into detail about what we are doing, so we have 3 major pillars where we are working on early prototypes, market and technology analysis regarding medical robotics or integrated photonics or sustainable economy. And we do that in a quite small team. We are roughly 30 people here in different regions, so some computer scientists, engineers, physicists, doing either project work or market and technology analysis. And we are supported, of course, by a lot of students. So Well, maybe also the same size, 20 people, 20 students doing either internships, theses, and this close collaboration with universities, something that we really value here. And of course, if you're more looking into biotechnology, maybe, then you do not here, but at the second innovation hub that ZEISS is currently building up in Dresden. So we're trying to extend this close collaboration elsewhere. Yeah, you can also subscribe to our mailing list if you're interested. And that's it, thanks.
So thank you for all the support. Now we have a second company, which is one of the partners from the very beginning of the Student Innovation Lab. And so you should also have the opportunity to present the Peppel and Fuchs company. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us here. And I'm really curious of what we will see later. Just some words on Peppel and Fuchs. I brought 2 slide decks, but super small ones. One of our mother companies, so Peppel and Fuchs, you see we're around 6,000 people worldwide in 80 locations, having 50,000 active products. They're very small. That's why we have so many. In the industrial sensor and explosion protection market. And I want to, if we go to the next slide, where does all this innovation come from? Where does the company itself come from? It comes from an idea. Mr. Peppel and Mr. Fuchs have had a radio repair shack in Mannheim. And one day they were approached by a company across the River Rhine, by BASF, because they had a problem. They had switches in their automation equipment which created sparks, and the sparks made the atmosphere explode. So this was a big risk for them. And what they did is they applied the radio technology, so oscillators and coils and the like, to create the first product of Peppel and Fuchs. And this is this one here in the middle. It's an inductive switch, a switch which is electronic and which doesn't create any sparks. And that solved a major problem of the chemical industry back then. And this basically is the basis for Peppel and Fuchs and for the success since 1945. In the meantime, we extended this. We have a lot of these explosion protective equipment where you can have computer terminals and also attach sensors from the field to PLCs and the like, and also some really cool and fancy sensors where you can detect the environment, basically the eyes and the ears of the machinery and also of Industry 4.0. Myself, I'm Jörg from Neoception. We founded an IoT and Industry 4.0 startup within Peppel and Fuchs, and in the meantime, we grown up a bit, are in the meantime, I should have updated that. We're approaching 30 employees in 2 innovation hubs, one in Mannheim and one in Portugal, in the northern part of Portugal, where we are continuously working on solutions, factory solutions for our customers. Really fun in intralogistics. So bringing these new technologies into intralogistics and enabling our customers to leverage the value on their shop floor with all these material flows, but also with interesting optimization of them. And sometimes we also do innovation inside our company. So what you see here is what you can do with these kind of 2D laser scanners. We had a cool hackathon where we applied AI to analyze boxes going via conveyor belts. And that you can see that we also have some fun there. If you put yourself onto the conveyor belt, gets funny images. We even had an AI characterizing that this was not a box, but Fabian, a colleague of mine. So you could do really, really cool stuff with these. If you're interested in something like that, really feel free. Join us for a hackathon, join us for student work. We are really open at any time. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm really looking forward to it. Really curious. Already was curious about your journey, and the journey so far is really great. And now let's jump this and just go to the end. Yeah, thank you very much for having us here.
And last but not least, in the same respect, also a very, very innovative company is being here and supporting us also from the very beginning. Thank you for your support from the very beginning. So Vector.
So, oops. Hello, my name is Clemens, and I'm from Vector, and we're happy to support you in this lab. And I personally hope that you all do really startups, because that's also was my way, starting at university, doing a startup, and then bring this product to the company Vector. Okay, so but what's about Vector? So Vector is a company located in the automotive industry. So it's the one with all the cars, with the electronic stuff. So all good things with products which are, yeah, they a lot of money, a lot of good people. And we help the OEMs, these are the one who produce the cars, and the helpers, these are the suppliers, to do their great work. And what we do is we help the engineers to do their job. So we build tools, we help them. So we need innovations from you, right? So doing the right tools, the helpers, and that's what our main thing is about our employees in the company. Then we look about the market, having really on the same level, so having good partners there. We look about society, so we do a lot of in education, in sponsoring, and we are very, very interested here in the environment. So our footprint of energy and all this stuff should be 0. So we are a company, we are a GmbH, okay, but we are owned by a foundation. So the company's revenue, the things which we produce in the end goes to things like universities, like social things. So if you work in our company, you're sure it's not for any stakeholder there, it's for the people in the countries. Okay, so facts, we are 3,000 employees. We are a turnover of 950 millions last year. We work all over the world, and we can say that every important people are in this industry are our customers. So we are mainly located in Germany, in Stuttgart. Here in Karlsruhe, we built a big development part. So we need it's not far from here, not far from the university. And you see, we also support all over the world our customers. Okay, so what does we do? So it's about cars, it's about the electronic in the cars, it's about software. So software is the most driver today in the innovations. And I'm personally bringing the startup from the university, which is pre-vision to the Vector. So we are around 250 people doing that. A lot of them are located here in Karlsruhe, so it's good to stay here. So please join us. And we also do embedded software. So we do the operation system for all the cars ECUs. It's like Microsoft or Linux in the normal stuff. And what we do is we do a specific OS and framework to build controllers. Okay. The other thing is about testing. This was the startup idea of this company, and about diagnostics, flashing, calibration, measurements, and also a little bit consulting. Okay. So a lot of products which are typically for those car industries. So it's about safety, it's security, it's ADAS. It's a lot of about communication and ECU development. So the controllers are called electronic control units. Right, and we are happy to have those every year, to have a big fair company, so have fair things for you, and also about a great place to work. We are number one of the number ones, and so that means that Okay, so that means that's the advertisement. So that means it's a good company, okay? And if you do great innovation, so we need that. So, and we're really happy to support you in this lab. And yeah, I'm very interested in what's happened next. So do a good job now, right? Thank you.
Right, thank you. Just let me. Okay, it's always impressive to hear how much innovation power lies within our region and then goes to the whole world. And I'm really hoping for our young startups here that they might step into those footsteps. Let me shortly now jump back into the agenda, which already started. So we had our welcome, and then we had our first company presentations. And now comes the actual fun part, I think, are the SIL pitches by our teams. I will explain how this whole procedure goes now. So we will have pitches of 5 minutes each, and those 5 minutes are sharp, so I have to stop you after 5 minutes and cut you off. And afterwards, we will have a Q&A with the jury, 5 to 7 minutes, so it's then up to you to ask really good questions and grill our team, so to speak. Yes, please do so. Well, where's the fun otherwise? For our jury, please raise your hand so then I can pick you out. And yeah, for our teams, as you can see with me, I'm really talking into this microphone like it's glued to my mouth, and I have been said that I should also forward this to you. Please hold it like that when you speak. When you come here to the front, I will ask you if everything is set up. You will tell me, yes, it is, hopefully, and then I will give you a go. And when the go starts, the time starts, okay? I think that's clear. All right, and for the audience here in the room, but also virtually online, every vote counts, and we want you to vote for the darling of the day. So the team that really did you think made the best job here today in every account, please vote for as the darling of the day. We also have 2 more awards we will give out, but this is the job of the jury then to figure out, which is best presentation and best product. So when you have the time later on to discuss, also determine which team wins best product and which team wins best presentation. Okay, I think with that we are clear and we can start with our first pitch, which is Badcam. Please come forward.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Then go.
So thank you, Christine, for your introduction. To begin with, I would like to ask everyone here to close your eyes for a few seconds. And now imagine that you could never open them again. How would you feel? And how would you suddenly orientate yourselves? For example, if you have to go to the grocery shop or visit some friends. Wouldn't you be afraid of hurting yourself? You can open your eyes now. I'm asking because in Europe there are more than 2.5 million of blind people who are struggling with these problems every day. And the most important tool for them is the blind cane. But it's not sufficient. We have talked to blind people, and here are their impressions.
Wenn ich eben mit dem Stock ein Hindernis nicht finde, und das heißt, es sind Zweige, die aus dem Garten herausragen, oder wenn ein LKW geparkt ist und der Spiegel herausragt, da kann auch passieren, dass ich gegen den Spiegel laufe.
Dass praktisch die obere Hälfte meines Körpers, also vom Bauch hoch bis zum Kopf her, mir nichts absichern kann. Ich bin mal an der Dornenhecke und dann habe ich hier voll im Gesicht alles aufgekratzt gehabt.
So, as you could see, the blind cane is not perfect and it misses many hurdles that are located above the ground, such as, for example, the side mirror of cars, barriers or hanging tree branches. But also many more. And we want to fix this problem with the bad cam. But Philip, tell me what's a bad cam exactly?
Thank you, John. The bad cam is a pair of glasses. It detects exactly these obstacles the blind cannot detect. For that, it has two cameras on the front side to capture images, a powerful processing unit on the sides of the glasses to process a depth map from that and to detect obstacles, and vibrational motors on the sides of the branches to give feedback to the user if there's an obstacle in a relevant distance. So together with the blind cane, our product, the BadCam, is the perfect combination for blind people to safely travel around. Now, what makes the BadCam so to stand out of the competition so uniquely is that we can not only tell the blind people if there's an obstacle, we can even tell them if it's where it is. So we can tell the blind people if it's far away or if it's coming closer and closer. We can tell them if it's on the left side or if it's on the right side. And like that, the blind people can actively navigate around an obstacle to avoid that. So till now, we have implemented our first prototype and we have tested it out with our blind friends. And as you can see, our product really helps the blind people to actively navigate around an obstacle they cannot detect with a blind cane and avoid it.
Thank you for this nice explanation, Philip. I would like to go on what makes us so special as a team. And first of all, we are in very close contact with the blind people, and we work with them together to have a product that is as close as possible to their expectations. But also within the team, we merge our strengths and we are very complementary in our work. We are all electrical engineers, and each of us has the experience in the relevant fields to develop the best product. But now that we have our first prototype, what are the next steps? Well, first of all, we are very happy to announce that we won the KIT Sustainable Innovation Challenge 22. And this is great news for us because it will get us the perfect infrastructure to keep us going. In the next steps, we will first begin to optimize the obstacle detection, then look for more fundings, and also add some more features to our product, such as, for example, barcode scanning or text recognition. And that's where we appeal to you. If you have any help or any idea how to help us, then just come to us after the networking session. I would like to end up with our motto: bad cam, bad vision, but good orientation. And thank you very much for your attention. Now, Robin and Michi, who is online because he is sick, unfortunately, will answer your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really outstanding. And also from my side, a very warm congratulations on winning the KIT Sustainable Innovation Challenge. Now we will jump into the question and answers, and I start this timer again so that we stay on time. And whoever wants to start, just let me know. All right, here.
Thanks a lot for the nice presentation. My question would be, what other solutions are you competing with, and what is special about your solution?
That's a really good question. So there are already a couple of products on the market who also implement obstacle detection, and they mostly rely on ultrasonic sensor. So they only can detect obstacles in one direction. So the user has to swipe around constantly searching for any obstacles. And what we can is, we can exactly locate the obstacle with the depth map, and and the vibration motor can vibrate accordingly.
There's another question.
Yeah, thank you. You showing 900 euros, I guess that's the price you are guessing. And the other two prices, where do you get them?
That's what we looked up on the internet, on the websites.
And how did you get to your price? I mean, how?
Yeah, the manufacturing cost of the next prototype with all the components integrated into the camera is approximately 150 euros. So we took that times 6, and came up, and this led to the price we set up for the product.
So you don't have, let's say, mass production
No,
in there?
No, we also chose the manufacturing costs of all the individual parts, so that we accounted for the price reduction when they get mass produced.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just one technical question, because it's, I think, difficult to get the energy supply in these small spaces. Perhaps you can comment on this. How do you provide the energy supply that this is working all the day long, or just 2 minutes or 20 or what?
That's definitely a valid question. Maybe you can show the calculations for the battery pack. So currently at our first prototype, we use a bigger battery, which is at the back of our head and lasts around 5 hours. And obviously, if we want to integrate all components into the side pieces of the glass frame, they have to be much smaller. So we chose a battery which is just 15 millimeters wide and easily fits into the side pieces and has still enough energy so that we have a minimal battery life of at least 1.5 hours with the current maximal power consumption under continuous usage.
Just to what's the weight about the battery? I fear of my ears.
Yeah. The battery weighs 70 grams, I think. Yeah. And we try to have a total weight for all the technical components under 100 grams, so that it's it's not a problem for the user.
Cool. Thank you very much for this great presentation. Did you look also into the market and the remaining development costs which you are facing until having a finalized product?
Definitely. I would pass that question on to Michi, who is currently online because he is sick, unfortunately.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. All right. So we've been looking into the market, and as we mentioned in the pitch, we have about 2.5 million blind people in Europe. About 40% of them are below 60 years, would be more our target group, as they are more open for new technology. And if we say that about 10% of them are interested in buying that product, and with a selling price of about 900 euro, alone in Europe, we would have a potential market of around 100 million euro. And yes, if you can go to the next slide, please. So we will need, of course, some time to have higher revenue than cost. We estimate this could take about 1.5 to 2 years. We have some advantages to attract money, as we are a sustainable startup. So business angels like to invest into things they like. So as this is a social idea, the people would probably like it a lot. We have an easy expansion, as our model is language barrier free. And on the long-term perspective, we can even get health insurance coverage. So yeah, after a couple of years, we will have even a boost for that. So to answer your question, about 2 years to be at the break-even point and then be profitable, like to have winnings and return of investments after about 3 years. That's what we estimate.
Also, did you also consider different business models, like renting your solution to the market or just for hardware selling? And why do you came to the conclusion just to sell your hardware and not to follow these other business models like renting or service?
So we wanted to go the classical way, as it is with most blind people aids. So we want to do a one-time purchase. So the people buy it, they own it, they take it home, and they have it. So as mentioned in the pitch, we later want to add further features. So when these features are implemented, we have the choice to either sell a completely new product or do an update for some money. But yes, this is still in the future, and we haven't decided yet on an exact way to sail in that future.
One question is concerning the head orientation. You want to say, please take care, is in front, but if you look on that side, how do you notice that?
If let's say that there's an obstacle on the left side, then only the left vibrational motor is vibrating. And if the obstacle is moving to the right, then if it's in the middle, both vibrational motors are vibrating, and then only the right one. So the blind person knows, okay, the obstacle has moved from one side to the other side.
Yeah, but I mean the orientation is different, whether the head orientation is this or that.
Yep, and the software will adjust accordingly. So if you turn your head and you look right into the object, then both vibrational motors will vibrate. And we tested it out ourselves and with the blind people, and you get used to it quite quickly.
Thank you so much, both for the very good questions and also your amazing answers. And thank you for this pitch. Badcam. Okay, next up is Vitrodome, I'm so sorry. Welcome on stage. Oh, with an impressive prototype. Just let me, you can have the clicker. Yes. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready? Yes. Also from my side, hello everyone. My name is Martin, and this over here is my friend Peter. And Peter is a pretty busy person, and he works all day long. A few months ago, I met Peter, and we decided to cook a healthy and fresh meal together. But unfortunately, the plant for delivering the required herbs looks like this. And yeah, as you can see, it's completely dried up, and there is no possibility how Peter can bring this back to life again. And I asked Peter, why is this the case? For him, it's a time, effort, and also, let's say, a problem that he doesn't know how much water this specific plant actually needs. And yeah, I was curious if other persons having the same issues, so my colleagues and me conducting multiple surveys to figure that out. And as you can see, a majority of the people surveyed are affected by the same issues that prevented them from having healthy and self-grown food. And this is the reason why we invented Vitrodome. At Vitrodome, our mission is to take a step closer towards a healthier lifestyle by making home gardening accessible to everyone. And to show you how we accomplish our mission, let's have again a look on my friend Peter after he decided to buy a Vitrodome. By opening our application for interfacing with the Vitrodome ecosystem, Peter gets a short notification about new plant recommendations for him. By clicking on this notification, he's directed to the Vitrodome shop, where he can select a plant of his choice. Within a few days, an envelope with the ordered seeds arrives at Peter's home, and he can finally start growing his own food. The Vitrodome guiding system explains everything for getting started and provides an additional information database if Peter's curious about a certain plant. He selects an area of his choice, throws the seeds in, and let the system do the remaining tasks. Vitrodome is built up on a multi-sensory system design that can measure all important conditions and parameters of its environment with the help of onboard sensors and additional external sensors. Based on the gathered sensor data, the system is able to perform intelligent ventilation movements like opening or closing the hatch of the greenhouse. And furthermore, the system can provide an individual watering for each part of the greenhouse. Finally, my friend Peter can have fresh herbs and vegetables, and with a look on his smartphone, he can access all important information about his plants.
Well, the entire show then boils down to enabling you to grow your own food at home with a minimum effort. After looking at various aspects of Vitrodome, let us now talk about the money market. Well, we have planned to generate revenue from two different ways. Firstly, from the intelligent greenhouse, which will provide a complete ecosystem to the consumers. Secondly, from the subscription for services, which includes benefits like free seasonal seeds, access to a Vitrodome community for exchanging ideas, and data analysis of the plants. And I can still go on with the benefits, but due to time shortage, I will switch to the next one, which talks about the market. Well, in Germany, we could found that our potential customer would be people living in apartment with a balcony. From an analysis, we could deduce that around 35 million people are living in an apartment with balcony. And already we could see these impressive figures, which says about the majority of them who doesn't want to compromise with the freshness and the quality of the food they want to consume. We see already a huge sum of money been circulating in this market, and we Vitrodome take this chance to exploit this market and make our presence visible. And I really believe we are halfway there. So for our next steps, we first have to be ready with our minimum viable product to launch, get closer towards the final design, and make a market entry, and also try to acquire new partnerships to generate more funds and take the growth to the further level. I would also like to introduce our team behind this with me. They are Leon and Martin, 3 electrical engineers looking for investors and project partners to take Vitrodome to the next level and share the pleasure of helping people in taking a step closer towards a healthy lifestyle. Thank you for your time. Now we are ready for taking further questions.
Perfectly on time. Very good. Very well done. Okay, open for questions. They're still thinking. All right.
I mean, at first it looks like, thanks for the presentation, so first of that, but it looks like a box I can build myself, but then I see that you have electronic there, you have sensors, so I guess I personally have to put the seeds in some place and tell the box where the seeds are, because the box knows what seeds needs what. Does the box also realize if the plant is probably not growing, or if it's, or is it just checking the humidity, the temperature, or is it also, is there a camera checking the plant itself, or?
Yeah, first of all, we thought of this possibility, but we came after a discussion, for example, with Max Riedel from Zeiss, to the conclusion that it's currently not into our time plan to implement this feature, but we indeed have a built-in feature in our application, because we know, for example, after 10 days, the user should see some leaves coming out of the soil. And we ask the people or the Vitrodome owner if he can see anything, and based on the feedback of the user, we can then adjust our expected growth rate. Yeah.
Do you also think about retrofitting of existing greenhouses, or just only for providing the software solution to the users? Maybe they will do the watering and so on by themselves?
Absolutely. Thank you for this question. Yes, we have planned to first launch our retrofit model in a couple of months, because it's almost ready, and we can really step into the market with our retrofit model very soon. It will not consist of everything. It will range from what customer wants and what is the exact requirement of his garden, or he just wants some kind of controller for that.
Yeah, from my perspective, thanks for the presentation again. It was interesting. I don't know, but I've somehow the feeling there's a friction in the persona that you're showing. I mean, is Max really somebody who would do that, or would he just go to the next shop and buy the things? You know, I mean, how sure are you that this segment, this target segment, really exists?
Because we conducted multiple surveys, and I would say that this persona is exactly our target group, because this person works all day, so it means he has enough money to buy such a system. And additionally, I would say that for this person, it's very important to have a high quality food and have their food homegrown. So I would say it fits, yeah.
Okay, so let's stay at personas. So do you think about other kind of personas using those products? I mean, industries producing food, maybe there's a little bit more money in this area as we see it at Max, which is high tech people, cool apps. But is he interested for years in that stuff?
Yeah, possibly we can also think about it. We trying to sell our sensor technology and the architecture behind to analyze data at such large scale greenhouses. So that's definitely a point. But yeah, otherwise I would say we are trying to focus on this customer market.
Now we have a question from the Zoom chat, I think.
No, probably it's me you're calling. So thank you. That's Werner speaking. My question would be, how would you protect your business? So isn't that something anyone could copy easily?
Yeah, I mean, basically we haven't any patents on that. So I would say definitely there could be the possibility. But on the other hand, we have our PCBs completely self-developed. So other companies must put enormous work and effort into the development of those PCBs. So I would say within the next few months or possibly years, maybe we have an advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
One more question, yes.
Hey, thanks for your talk. So I think you showed us the market size of, let's say, 35 million balconies in Germany. Could you narrow that down a bit? Is it important if it's north, south, west, east side, or if I have power supply on my balcony, for example? I think I remember I was living in 40 apartments. I don't think I always had a power supply actually there.
Yeah, for power supply, I mean, it will just consume 24 volts. So if there is no possibility of a power supply in the balcony or something, we could, we could install the solar panels, which could produce such kind of voltage. And as this component doesn't consume a lot of power, so it's very much possible. And yeah, this is definitely a part of our next further development.
All right, the time is up. Thank you so much for your pitch again. And we continue with a lot of backup slides. Aha. And then we go on with Ocuitis. Welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's start. So welcome to Ocuitis. Our mission is to introduce a new digital dimension into construction. I'm Alex, and the people on the slide are my teammates. They're also sitting over there. Let me start with a short story. Last week, I was talking to someone, and that person had a building built recently, and what ended up happening is that one of the sinks was installed improperly, so he couldn't use it. And we were thinking, yeah, that's a bit terrible. You should be able to use a sink. And what ended up happening in that case was that the measurement was done from the wrong starting position because the craftsman just simply forgot that there's an area, a couple layers of floor coming in. So how do measurements currently look like? Most often you will be doing something like this, take a stick measure from one point to the other, and then read it and transfer it into a piece of paper or some digital work. We were thinking, hey, let's make this easier, make it digital and seamless, and therefore, yeah, a better solution. And furthermore, we were measuring in 3 dimensions, so let's move in 3 dimensions. Add a drone to it, attach the sensors, and with that, we make it easier. And because the drone is expensive, let's make it a service so we can sell it to people with lower risks. How does that look for our customers?
The journey began applicants on our website where you provide us with your data and your building plan. After that, you will receive a confirmation and shortly after receive your order by mail. We provide you with a laptop to control and supervise the drone, as well as the drone itself. With our easy-to-use GUI, you always know what to do. Now you have to place the drone at an appropriate starting spot. The software deemed the location not to be safe, so you have to place it somewhere else. When you press start, the drone can take off and start its autonomous mapping procedure. The navigation and path planning is all handled by the drone. To land, it returns to the start. Now you have to pack everything and return it to us so we can take a look at the data. After we've evaluated the data, you receive a thorough comparison report that highlights every difference between your plan and reality.
Okay, so as a service, you receive a report. How does that look like? So that's what we see. We see a deviation from the original plan and what we actually have. We have two red areas, and if you look at it closer, you can see that it's a fire extinguisher and a radiator. These two things should definitely be in the plan, but they are not, and you can add them afterwards. Now, how much is this? We were thinking this is business to business, so let's scale it up per area for the whole pricing. So it's 25 euros per square meter per use, which is cheap compared to replacing it with like people measuring, or in comparison to actually having to implement changes later on that you didn't detect early enough. So the key points are, it's an autonomous operation in 3 dimensions. It is easy to use for our customers. It's very low risk for the customers. And therefore, if you're interested, have any ideas or opportunities for us, feel free to reach out to us at our website or LinkedIn, or talk to us later at the networking event. Thank you very much for your attention and time. And now I would like to invite my coworkers onto the stage.
Again, very much on point. Congratulations. Great pitch. All right. We are open for questions. Oh, there, the first one.
Well, first of all, I have to mention that was my story. Yeah. Well, it was funny. So the water taps were not placed at the right point. But can you tell us something about your competitors? Because you said something about 25 euros, and yes, of course, I understood your position, but the competitors are of much of importance.
Of course, there are competitors. As we found out and figured out during our research, there are multiple ones. The key point here is that they are doing the things in a very different way, and we personally think that we have a big advantage over them. First of all, the biggest competitor that is currently existing is Faro. Faro is producing laser scanners that measure buildings already. The big difficulty here is they're selling the laser scanners, so it's only viable for like large-scale corporations. And the second point is, it's not autonomous. Someone has to move the whole laser scanner around the building, and you have to do all the building management afterwards yourself. And then the other companies are similarly to us using drones, most of them selling them as a product, which is pretty much a high hurdle to enter because you have to buy a drone. And if it doesn't or isn't worth the money, you have invested and thrown away money, and you need someone that's specialized in that area. And furthermore, Air Team, they're just sending someone on site that works there all the time, so it's pretty difficult to get it profitable in the long run. And therefore, we think we have a huge advantage over these competitors.
Relatively small room. Half of the money is gone from mail. And then, I mean, it might be a big effort to really read out all the data and send it back. Is that really worth it for you? I mean, it would be great if you have some calculation, if we can see how this comes together so that you really got money with this.
Well, as you might have seen, when you look at the drone is pretty big, so it's not suited for small rooms. And of course, a small room would simply not be a use case for us because the company, of course, yeah, it's just no use for them. So of course, yeah, we plan with more areas like this, yeah, where we're right here. Yeah, and of course, then we are in just completely different dimensions. But yeah. We did do some calculations if you're interested in numbers. So Alex.
So here is a finance break-even point, what we calculated. So initially we have calculated for 2 years of break-even point. I mean, when we'll be profitable later. Can you show the previous table? Yeah, so here it is. That's how we scale up the divisions. Initially, of course, like he said, the drones are really costly, but our like we are providing it business to business we are selling our product as a service, so it's going to be pretty cheap for the users, and we are also sending our supervisors to scale up our profits. So after a year or 2 years, we will be in a good position, or we have the profits.
Questions? And I think this microphone might not be working. Oh, we would prefer jury questions, sorry.
Thank you for your presentation, yes. How do you do the comparison between your digital model and the defined maps you have? Is this manually done, or do you have some ideas how to automate this?
Well, there are already tools existing for that. Right now we're using Cloud Compare, which basically just calculates the distance of the point cloud to the respective mesh. And that is, well, done more or less by hand. But of course, that could be automated relatively easy by just using scripts in the first run. And of course, later we would, yeah, like dive a bit deeper into that and use libraries, of course, and do our own code. But for now, as you see, the thing works with existing software, and that's why we use that.
And then we have another question from Professor Nahm, I think, from the Zoom. Oh, Johannes. All right, sorry.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I'm curious about your status of autonomous navigation in the customer field. So with outside of an infrared fence, like you showed in the video, it seems that this is, I think, the main differentiator here. Yeah.
Of course, right now we are not fully autonomous, so that's why we plan to use supervisors and, in the very beginnings, developers who are traveling with the drone and get more autonomous over time. For safety, we use specialized ultrasound sensors that really act as the last barrier before a crash would happen. Of course, our trajectory planning that uses the mapping should prevent any collisions before we have to take any steps. And at the really last point, the one who is supervising the drone can always press an emergency button and the drone will land right where it is. But yes, right now we are having some benchmarks where we fly autonomously, and the trajectory planning and autonomous operation will learn from our first customer experiences and will only get better over time.
All right, thank you so much for the questions and answers and your pitch. And thank you. Sorry. And we now continue with the fourth team, On My Way. Do you need both microphones? No. One is enough? Okay.
Test.
So you let me know when you're ready. Okay?
Okay, yes.
And go.
So never let the fear get in your way.
Microphone.
Oh, no, sorry. Never let the fear get in your way. These are strong words, but how to ensure this? My name is Disnebio, and I'm from On My Way. Imagine you're in a situation, you are going home late in the evening, it's dark, and you feel not safe. So what are current solutions? Maybe you can use a pepper spray or a baton. But of course, they are not very smart, and some people have even fear to use it because it's the first time. Of course, you can use maybe the phone, take it out. Okay, I'm in a dangerous situation, have to unlock the phone, search a number. Oh, no battery. You know it maybe. The last thing is maybe a whistle, but of course, it's not smart too. So we decided to change this. I want to show now a little clip how to do this. Yep. So for this, we created a revolutionary interface. So only by one click, you can inform your beloved ones. But sometimes you even have no possibility to make this. So we created an intelligent recognition of a dangerous situation called Safe Mode. You can activate it, and it's informing your emergency contacts without any clicks. Yes. Maybe you think now, oh, okay, another gadget I have to care about. Yes, I understand this. But if you're grabbing in your pocket or in your bag, what you find, what you have always with you, yes, your keys. So we made it so small and so smart that you can use it as a keychain, so you never has to care about another gadget too. Maybe you think also, oh, okay, I can use a power bank, but of course, also another gadget you have to care about, and also you have always it with you, and the battery of your smartphone is always empty. Oh, you forget the cable, you can't use it too. So we decided to develop a very high life battery, so you don't have to care a lot about to charge it. Yes. We will provide three different tariffs to sell with. The first one is the basic tariff. You get the gadget, you have full access of everything. You don't have to care about anything other. The second thing is a friendship tariff. You can buy it with your friend, and you get a small discount of bus gadgets, and the gadgets are already connected to each other. The third service is our premium service. Maybe you want to get friend with us, so we provide a 24-hour emergency service, and by additional to all of this, you get the gadgets free. Yes. If you're excited about our project, please let us know, and my colleagues will be excited to answer your question. Thanks for your attention.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for the pitch, and you're very much on time, very well done. And we are already having the first question.
Hi. Very cool, thanks. But you didn't talk too much about technology. So how do you have the GPS and what is the transmission technology you use, 4G or what is it?
We realized the technology with the ESP32, and it's combined with the ESP32 combines a SIM card module where you can use it, and the message are transceived with this SIM card module. And
yes, also we are doing a notification via SMS because ASMS doesn't know if you're 4G or LTE or something like this, and it's yes, it's nearly all over the world you can send SMS.
Okay, thanks.
Can you elaborate a little bit about your competitors again? Because I'm not sure. Well, there are existing GPS trackers, for example.
Yes, there are a lot of competitives. For example, the Apple Watch, but the Apple Watch has a big problem that the battery life it's not so long. So our gadgets, we wanted to create a gadget with a long battery life, and we create a small gadget with a big battery life and with all the other points that you can use with the gadget.
Maybe I can answer better. Like we have a lot of competitors. Still, there are small little portable ones are already available in the market, but those doesn't have any GPS tracking. Those are very cheap and long battery life, but those are not available with the GPS tracking. But we have very smart gadgets which are available in the market, like Apple smartwatches like that. But that doesn't have any safe mode. Like our unique selling point is the safe mode, and it is independent of the smartphone. We don't need to depend on the smartphone if we carry our gadget.
Further questions?
Then I ask one more.
Yeah, of course, please.
Sure. Let's dive even a little bit more in technology. So what's your battery life? I mean, what would you assess? And then, of course, I also would be interested in your business model, you know, how you are going to make money.
Yeah, our gadget works in 3 modes, like emergency mode, safe mode, and idle mode. In emergency mode, our gadget activates, it transmits and receives the GPS signals, like it communicates with the GPS module. So during emergency mode, we require more battery, so it consumes more power. But in safe mode, it is not that case. It doesn't have that case. In safe mode, like right now we put 10 minutes timer. Like every 10 minutes, our gadget asks the user whether he is safe or not. So in safe mode, it doesn't consume a lot because RTT peripherals and RTT memorials doesn't consume lot of power. So it comes around 2,600 hours runtime. In idle mode, it is the sleep mode. So that sounds.
All right, one last question. Yes.
Hi, thanks for your talk. I might have missed it, but what prevents you in providing your solutions also for a smartphone that has a GPS tracker and a SIM card and all and that? Is there a competitor who has that, or?
Yeah, like we thought about this one, but I don't think our potential customers are like, first we thought of elderly women because they are not much good at using the smartphones. And we thought of implementing this to the next stage, like few of the women facing problem, like during night times, they will run out of the battery. So we thought of this gadget like.
Yes, of course, one competitor is of course the smartphone, but the problem is the smartphone has no long battery, and of course you have to think about what to do. The average runtime of a smartphone battery is 6 hours, and if you think the day has not 6 hours, at 24 hours, okay, you're maybe sleeping a little bit, so 16 hours. And sometimes you can't ensure that your battery is always loaded. So by this, you have a little gadget with you, you can always activate and you don't have to care about this point. And even for a gadget, if the battery is low, it will notify you long time before, so this will be no problem. And also we have a safe mode, or like he said, our unique selling point. This is a kind of intelligent recognition of a dangerous situation, and this has my smartphone also not.
All right, thank you for that. And I'm sure you can answer every other question later on. Thank you for your pitch. All right, last but not least, on stage, I welcome E-Wait. Do you need both microphones?
Yes, that would be great. All right.
You just let me know when you're ready.
Let's see if you are.
Okay, then let's go.
Hello all together. We are E-Wait and we are happy to present to you the future of fitness workouts. Let's try over here. All right. So I remember last summer I've worked for Daimler-Benz. And my job was to make sure engine screws hold tight enough. So I was screwing screws all day. And guess what? That's not an interesting task to do. In fact, we as humans, we don't enjoy repetitive tasks. In contrast, all of us love to see progress. Remember the good feeling you had after your last promotion. Now, 70% of people who go to the gym quit within 2 years. Only a minor percentage reach their goal. And there's 2 reasons. First, no visible results. And second, no feedback. If you don't see any results, how would you even know your mistakes? The solution is to keep track of your progress. You can see your progress in detail, but also you can optimize your routine based on your track record. You could already do that by pen and paper or by typing into a variety of apps. But unfortunately, that is a repetitive task, just as screwing screws. And that's the reason why we built E-Wait to track for you. Let me show you how it works. You can wear a wristband and enter the gym. No chip card needed. Once you start your exercise, our wristband will automatically connect to your weight and detect for you the type of exercise you do, the amount of weight you lift, and it will count the repetitions for you in the background. You can see your progress in our app at any time. Additionally, a detailed analysis will be available to you. You can see E-Wait makes progress in the gym easier than ever. But why exactly E-Wait? First of all, we do have the highest degree of automation in the industry. This is complemented by our deep integration into the already existing gym infrastructure. And then there's our analysis. Our algorithm will give you the best progress analysis that you can get. And by building a big data set, we can even provide you a unique workout aid that no one else can provide to you yet. Other than our competitors, we combine easy-to-use automation and highest detail analysis for your success in the gym. E-Wait will act in the B2B market. We will provide our sensors, our smart sensors to the gyms where they will track the gym customers' data. Our seamless data pipeline will then automatically process and store the workout data on our own data infrastructure, fast and anonymized. Our gym clients can then license our whole product package and will pay us a monthly fee. The gym's customers will have access to E-Wait in their local gym. But most importantly, the end user. She won't have to pay anything on top of her fitness contract. For her, this service is gym-related, and so integration into the local fitness studio will be strengthened. Via our E-Wait app, she can easily access her workout statistics and analysis. We plan to develop our product as close to the end customer as possible and further improve our E-Wait experience step by step. So today we got a working prototype and a proof of concept. We already tested our sensors with 30 different people in local gym surroundings and built a huge data set. In the upcoming month, we will start a beta testing phase in a local gym area on a regular basis.
KIT, the KIT walk-in, as well as Venice Beach are our confirmed partners. Of course, we want to maximize the knowledge gain for our end users. So we will expand our team by a partner with a sports scientific background until the end of the year. In 2023, we will finish our studies and apply for Exist. We are continuously seeking for startup student funding and for partners who are enthusiastic about the fitness industry. Thank you for your attention. We're happy to present you our prototype after the discussion, and we're looking forward to your input.
Thank you for this very great pitch. And yeah, now I'm very happy to receive questions. All right, let's start here.
Okay, nice talk, but I have not really not yet got how do we manage that technically, no?
Yeah, that's a nice question, and I think Titus will be glad to answer that.
Indeed. So, I mean, there's a lot to it, actually. So, the first step is pretty much the connection. So we want to connect automatically. So you get a wristband of us, and that will connect to a sensor which is put on the weight. We do that actually by using ultra-wideband distance measurement. This is calibrated once and then constantly measured. And we are pretty much looking that you're connected to the closest weight you have in your hand. This is the connection part. Once you're connected, we are pretty much using IMU sensors to get the data, and we do that by Bluetooth Low Energy. The data is then analyzed by a neural net, which Moritz can pretty much tell you a lot about. All right. Next one.
Actually, my question goes in the same direction, so I would like to continue. And is it just for weights, or is it also for bicycling and, you know, other machines and rowing machines and whatever? Because, I mean, sometimes you move in the right hand, sometimes the left hand, your legs. And, I mean, with your IMU in your wristband, you can only detect the movement of the arm, is it?
So there's a sensor on the weight and on the wristband. So we have two sensors, actually. And we are aiming for the free weight space, where there is actually no solution quite yet. There's something for machines already, which we don't want to do in the moment. But actually the free weight space is pretty much where 80% of the training is going on in most gyms. And that's pretty much what we're aiming for, yeah.
Okay, I want to know about your potential customers. It seems to be that should be the gyms. But do you think about selling this for people at home doing their workouts after work at home?
I'd probably hand it to Moritz for a second.
Yeah, of course, we thought about that. But actually, a gym is a good surrounding to do that, because we are especially aiming for the free weight area. Where people at the moment who are ambitious about free weight exercising, and those people go to gyms, where they don't have the possibility to digitize their workout and have access to their progress they make over time. So when you're an ambitious person about going to gyms and doing that over a long time, then you have to either type into your phone or directly have pen and paper on your diary, and this won't give you access to the information we provide, naming the progress. So yeah, it's for a long time. It's for those people who go to gyms, and so in the consequence, the gym is the right goal for us to go for.
Maybe I have one thing to add. Like, the thing is, the most solutions on the market aim pretty much for the pists at home. So there's nothing that's really aiming to build an infrastructure inside fitness studios. But that's what we think is important. So it's really easy to access for the users in the end. So that's our goal, pretty much. Yeah.
So if I'm getting it right, you're targeting the studio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But now if you target the studio, there is some part of the information in the machines and some part in these free movements. I mean, as a studio owner, I would say I want to have an integrated solution. How do you react to that?
I mean, it's pretty integrated. Like, oh, you mean the sensors inside the weights? Yeah, that's actually what we are going to do. Like, our plan is, at the moment, it's kind of retrofitting. So we build the sensors and we put it on the weights. That's only for beta phase. We are really searching for a partner who can build weights, with whom together we can build weights who actually use our sensors in them. Yeah, so pretty much the user will get the wristband instead of their fitness card and use it to entry and to do anything within the gym, but also to use our infrastructure. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this cool presentation. 2 questions, basically. The first one is, you said that you can differentiate between different exercises automatically and then track the progress on them. And the second question would be, are you also able to measure the quality of the execution of the exercise?
You want to answer? Should I answer?
No, I can answer.
Great.
Yes. So, yeah, first question, we're able to differentiate at the moment between 4 different exercises. The plan is to scale that up, of course. But yeah, I mentioned the beta phase we want to enter. And in that period of time, it will be like people are performing the exercises with the free weights. 4 of them will definitely be recognized. Some will be recognized with a lower percentage of certainty. And then people will have to label by hand. But it still is kind of an advantage because you've got all the exercises you performed on your application. And regarding the quality of the exercise, we will provide an analysis about your details of movement, about how fast you moved your weight at different points of time. So you will have access to an analysis how dynamic your workout developed over time. We don't provide, so far we don't provide hints whether you performed correctly in order to stay healthy, because for that we would need a camera. We don't have that, and that's not the goal for us. For us, it's about the performance of your exercise and whether this has changed over time.
Do you have an overview of the installation costs at the fitness gyms? How much do they have to invest, and what will be the pricing model? How much do they want to pay or have to pay for your solution?
Yes, good question. Thank you. We don't have a distinct imagination of that at the moment, but we have material costs for sensors, which are about 20 euros per sensor at the moment. We want to definitely charge for the sensors to get into the gym. And on top of that, there is a monthly fee, as mentioned. And this monthly fee will strongly depend on how big the attraction for additional customer is our product will bring to a fitness studio. So how many customers additionally can be won because our product is available in this gym. But even if for a medium fitness studio in Karlsruhe, like the Venice Beach, for example, if 1% additional customers come there because of our product, that will be around 800 euros plus per month, which they're like winning. And that's roundabout what we could charge for this minor percentage of additional customers every month.
One last question.
Sorry, I was asking something similar.
Okay, so it's the overall cost is 20 euros. So what's the cost of the ultra wideband nodes at the moment? Huh?
That's definitely for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's for me. So we paid, I think, 12 or 13 euros actually. The rest was pretty cheap, to be honest.
Okay.
So ultra wideband is the key point. It's pretty expensive at the moment.
So you need one for the wristband and one for the weight. Yeah?
Exactly. So each sensor is 20 euros.
Because over here you have the magnetometer measurement. No?
Exactly.
So wouldn't that be cheaper? No.
For the distance measurement, like we want to connect automatically to to the device, to the weight. So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
We will go on in a networking
Yes,
session,
exactly.
I guess.
I would say
we will talk about it.
You will postpone this to this networking
Yeah.
session. Thank you again for this amazing pitch.
Thank you so much.
All right. As you can see, now should come another company presentation, but I think we are all ready for a little break. So let's take a 10-ish break until 40, so that you have time to grab something to drink. The people online can stand up a bit, get moving, and be refreshed here at 40. And to the jury, you can take your break, but then you have the goal to determine those two winning teams. So we will now say goodbye to you and see you later. Thank you all.
just his colleague. All right. They are too busy. So my name is Jürgen, and this is the target group. The professors know it anyway, so I would like to introduce very quickly Siemens. Obviously, it's a big company. It used to be a startup around 175 years ago. I don't go into details, but none of Siemens was the guy, you know, who started the whole company. So these days, it's a bit bigger. We are around 60 billion revenue, 300,000 employees, and well, also make some decent money, around 15%. Well, what's more important, we talk today about innovation, and this is really in the DNA of Siemens. So just to impress you a little bit, so the company invests every year 5 billion euro in R&D expenditures. I mean, just take that number in. It's even for me, it's always unbelievable, you know, 5 billion, around 42,500 R&D employees globally. And it's a true global play. I think we are present in, I don't know, 150 countries around the world. We are typically always on the top ranks of innovation and invention, so we do a lot of that stuff. And we have a lot of cooperations with universities, of course, also with the KIT. Now, this is our CEO, he's a physicist, and you know, we talk a lot about what is the purpose of Siemens these days. We take care of industry, automation, obviously, this is where I'm based. Infrastructure is building technologies. If you think about a skyscraper, I mean, this is a highly automated thing. Mobility, obviously, trains, for example, and healthcare. And the big theme of Siemens these days is, of course, let's say, the digital transformation, the merging of the real and the digital world, and that's been also a part of your presentations. So I would like to talk a little bit about that. So it's really about how do you create value out of data, and the story here is you are combining the digital world and the real world. I saw this buzzword digital twin in one of the presentations that it's all about. Of course, you can simulate a lot. And at Siemens, we truly believe that you need to have a good domain know-how, as we call it. And this is one of our key, let's say, competitive advantages. If you really understand the business of your customers and the applications and the challenges, of course, then you have a big advantage versus a pure IT company who may have great skills in terms of programming and software, but who do not really know how to operate. And as Siemens has hundreds of factories around the world, of course, as my CEO always says, we drink our own champagne. Of course, we use our own solutions in our factories, and when we have customers there, we can show them how we are applying our own solutions. You see a small selection of all the industries we are active in. And you know, digital transformation, that's really a key topic for each industry. And you have here some examples. I mean, for our part, 60% of the manufacturing tasks can be automated, actually. And we need to, because we are running out of young people. I mean, when you look at the age distribution, so we need to do something about it. Life cycle cost is another example. Emission controlling, I mean, the whole climate challenge, of course. We can tackle that with digitalization. I will not go through a flavor. I mean, when we talk about this merging real and virtual worlds, this is an example from our mobility. I mean, we commute in the cars, we designed with our software, we built them in factories which are actually run by Siemens PLCs. So this could be a Mercedes or BMW. Most of the German car manufacturers are running on our Simatic. And of course, we are also providing charging infrastructure, for example. Or another example, this is building technology, smart buildings, equipped with a lot of sensors. We take care of energy optimization, and of course, we are connecting here also physical and digital working space. Just a few real-life examples. And you know, where does this come from? Siemens very much started, of course, as a hardware company. In the last, I would say, 15 years, we invested 10 billion euro in acquiring different software companies. Only today there was an announcement. Siemens bought another company, and last week was an announcement. So that journey is going on. But the clear message is we are not trying to become a pure software player. It is really this combination of hardware and software, in our opinion, which does the trick. And we are a #1 player in automation. But of course, we want to build this very strong footprint also in software development and combine the both things. Now, getting a little bit closer to where Gilbert and Johannes is here on the call, and I'm responsible for sensors here at Siemens in Karlsruhe. And actually we talk a lot about bringing operational technology, OT, and IT together, or in other words, from sensor to cloud. And this is the whole thing, you know, how do you combine that in a smart way? Of course, you have a cloud above, and how do you generate customer value with this kind of applications? This is where we work every day. And so one observation we make, and that's a really very new slide from Siemens, a lot of the digitalization projects in industry are failing because there are great ideas, but it's very often not so easy to really do it and implement it. And you have seen that probably also in your projects. I mean, the idea is cool, but how do I really do it? That's exactly the same problem Siemens has. Every day we are having these problems. Great ideas, but how do we operationalize it? How do we make money with it? And you can see here 86% of the digitalization challenges. A lot of customers avoid critical projects because they know they are going to fail. And a lot of them don't know how to use IoT, Internet of Things, or industrial Internet of Things. And of course, a lot of them are struggling to find the right partner to make it happen. It's a very, very complex field. And this is, of course, where Siemens tries to jump in. And this is something our CEO has launched only 3 weeks ago. It's called Accelerator, where we try to offer our customers, well, the right products, but also, let's say, an ecosystem where they can participate and create apps and participate. We are not so stupid to believe that Siemens can provide everything. We need to integrate other partners and maybe even our customers in developing certain solutions. So, and in the end, it's about a portfolio, ecosystem, a marketplace. I cannot go into details here, but keep your eyes open. There will be more talk about that in the near future. But now I want to give you one example, because this product, I brought it here, you can have a look later on, that's a multi-sensor. We started 3 years ago, and now it's a product, we are selling it. It's not only a sensor, it's really also a complete solution going up to the cloud, and this is a little movie showing you what it's all about, and that's also a product which is part of the Accelerator story.
Expensive plant downtimes often occur unexpectedly, but you can prevent them. Citrans SCM IQ offers smart condition monitoring of your machinery. The solution is based on Citrans MS200 multi-sensors. They collect important machine data in the field, including vibrations and temperature. Industrial standards such as Protection Class IP68 make the sensor especially resistant to dust and water. Replaceable batteries ensure a long service life and sustainable product use. Installation and commissioning do not require any wiring and can be managed entirely on your own. The multi-sensor transmits the collected data to the Citrans CC220 Cloud Connect gateway via Bluetooth. Citrans CC220 acts as a connector between several MS200 sensors and Siemens MindSphere and transmits the encrypted data securely from the field level to the cloud. Anomaly detection uses machine learning. Sensor data is continuously analyzed and deviations reliably detected. The mobile Citrans SCM IQ app reports critical deviations from the normal operating state of the monitored machine components at an early stage. Monitor as many multi-sensors as your system needs. The Citrans SCM IQ system is scalable, from the smallest applications to comprehensive plant monitoring. This allows you to prevent costly downtimes and enables predictive maintenance.
So, pretty cool stuff, all developed here in Karlsruhe and around the world with our partners. And if you want to be part of the team, we are always looking for working students and, of course, are also hiring people, and that's for sure. I mean, if you are interested, Gilbert is here in the jury. Talk to him, it's around the corner, or you talk to me later on over a beer. Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
Let me pull the plug.
I hope so. We will see.
It's yours.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good maybe.
That's okay. We are getting help now. So. And we will continue with the next company presentation, which is from SEW. Where, is that online? I'm not sure.
That's online, yes. Can you hear me?
It's online, okay.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
The virtual participants can hear you, but I think you cannot be heard yet by the audience on site. I will check with them.
You should be able to hear now someone from the Zoom, and they could start their presentation.
Can you hear us, Christine? Not yet.
I tried again. Can you hear me?
Looking good.
Now, can you hear me now?
So yeah, I still can hear you from the virtual side, but not on site, I think. Christine, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, then I will start.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andreas Waniek. I'm part of the research team of SEW Drive. I raise the hand when you slip the slide, please. SEW Drive is a global player for gear motors, control and feedback technology, software, factory and machine automation. That's our products. And we're located in 52 countries. We've got more than 19,000 employees and a turnover per year from 3.3 billion. Our customers from diverse industries are from bottle filling machines, automotive industry, up to roller coasters. Or when you know it, the biggest clock in the world stands in Mecca, and it's also driven by a SEW technology. We've got a lot of different products, and with this product we can create systems. And these systems we can offer our customers that they can create solutions, but we also plan solutions with our customers directly parallel, so that they can build manufacturing systems all over the world. And our founder said one time ago, the customers and the people, they don't need products, they need solutions. And that's the way we work. And we've got a big know-how in industrial applications. We offer lifecycle service all around the world. And one biggest important new part for us is Industry 4.0. As we can see in the next slide, mobile systems. That's what we built here in Bruchsal, that are mobile logistic assistants, also known as HEVs. And we've got a big portfolio now for these vehicles for different tasks that we can help in the manufacturing. We can transport oil pallets, boxes, or we can drive into warehouses, or with a handle assistant, we can assemble products while we drive with other vehicle. And on the next slide, we will see a big vehicle from us, where you can see that also cars can transport it by us, so that the car manufacturing don't need rails in his factory, and that's flexible and very new system, yes. On the next slide, you can see our factory here in Bruchsal. That's our new electronic factory. And we use also these own HEVs for there, to help the assembler to make their life easier, to make their daily work easier. And when you look around, you see a lot of racks and some systems or the building. And for the system, for the vehicle, we need to have sensors in it. Yes, because we have to detect the surrounding of the vehicle. Normally we've got camera in it and laser scanners in it for the object detection and obstacle detection. And for the communication, we've got state-of-the-art Wi-Fi, and we can exchange our information to the access point in a star network. But there are some use cases where star network is not the best, because when we have a cooperative drive of two vehicles, we need other requirements to the communication. For example, low latency or something else. And so we designed a new communication systems, and that's the visible light communication. We communicate over light between the vehicles, so that we got a mesh network. So the next step is that we get a radar sensor for the object detection, and to support the communication, and to support the sensor fusion that we've got on the vehicles. And that's our research topics we have here in Brussels. And when you are interested in some topics, we've got open vacancy, and for final thesis or for internships, feel free to apply. We're still waiting for your application. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. From here to the virtual room. Thank you. All right. Now my microphone is, yes, now it's working again. Okay. Amazing presentations, both by our established companies as well as from our young startups. And I'm happy to say that we are now going into the voting phase. So for the jury, now finally this means you can leave the room and get together and discuss for best product and best presentations. We're very much looking forward to hear from those back in a couple of minutes. For the audience here in the room and also online, we want you to vote for the darling of the public. Every vote counts, so please scan the QR code and participate. Let me shortly wrap up again. So we have Badcam, which offer a great solution with smart glasses for visually impaired people. We have Vitrodome, who offer, I'm so sorry, Vitrodome, who offer a smart solution for home gardening. We have Ocuides, who make sure that with the drone you can get a digital twin of your house, or of your house. Let's put it that way. We have On My Way, who help people in need when they don't know who to contact with a cool gadget. And last but not least, we have eWeight, who make sure that your training at the gym with your weights is at the best and improves significantly over time. So those are our teams. I'm looking forward to see the result of this Darling of the Day vote. I'm glad that I don't have to vote, because I think I wouldn't be able to decide, because all pitches were just great. I'm really happy that you all performed so great today. Thank you again from my side. Okay, with that, this doesn't end here. We get yes, please, sure, you can leave now. I'm sorry. They're still sitting here. Okay. SIL doesn't stop when you finish your journey here with this pitch, and then also hand in your business model, which you also have to do so that we can grade you. But it can actually go on, and it can go on pretty cool. So beyond SIL, we do have some amazing teams who continued their journey, and I want you to get some insights into how this might look like, and how a journey after your studies can look like. And that's why I first want to say hello and welcome here on stage Nahid. She is a former SIL participant, convoyed from 2019-20, and she will tell us how she experienced SIL and how this further developed. Yeah. Hello.
Thank you. All right, awesome. Hi everyone. My name is Nahid, and can I have your attention? Hello. Hi, it's nice to be here. after 2 years. So we were, I was one of the first batches of SIL. So I can say that there is a lot of improvement from every aspect from my perspective. So well done, all of you. And since I've talked about my idea a lot over the past 2 years, we created another video. So if I don't know who's going to share that, maybe that video will talk about the idea and then I will talk about myself and my journey. And I don't know who's going to play that. Ah, yeah, okay.
Every day in our life, we hear a lot of sounds around us, and they are normal to our ears. But the problem is, if you mix all of these sounds together, they become annoying to our ears, and specifically, if someone has hearing problems, they cannot resolve all of these sounds from each other. It means that they cannot recognize them. In a very small gathering, somebody who has hearing problem and might even use hearing aid, they face a lot of challenges because in most cases, their hearing aid is actually amplifying all the sounds around them, even the noise. In such an environment, there can be a lot of distracting sounds, such as street noise or music being played in the background, or maybe somebody on the phone talking very loud. During a conversation, because of all of this distraction, they cannot resolve the sounds, the direction of the sounds, because in most cases, their hearing aids does not have directional hearing capabilities. Which means, even if they have hearing aid, they cannot have a conversation with multiple people because their hearing aid directs them to one person at a time only. What you just witnessed are challenges that they face in a small gathering. Now you can only imagine how much more difficult it becomes in a restaurant, in a bar, or a cafe. Now how can we solve this problem? By giving them full control over their hearing. And our app does exactly that. When the user starts the app scans the surrounding area. It then displays different sound types in their respective location. The user then can select multiple speech sources for amplification and suppress unwanted sounds by double tapping. So what does it mean? It means that with our app, they can overcome their directional hearing challenge and enjoy their conversations in any environment. My name is Nahid, and I'm doing my PhD thesis at KIT on the same idea. I am building a team to turn this idea into a reality in the form of a startup. So join me if you believe in this idea as much as I do.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the third video that we made for the same idea, and it keeps getting repeated, so it makes more sense to just create one and just send it around. Yeah, so as I said, I joined with some of the other students on the first batch, and we presented and we created a prototype for the idea. And then after that, we moved on, all four of us, we moved on to our master thesis. And I decided to do my master thesis on the same idea with the goal of improving the UI and the UX of the app. And it actually didn't stop there. I became too much emotionally invested in the idea, so I didn't want to give it up. So after I actually submitted my master thesis, I was looking for a way to continue, but I was alone. My team, they had different direction. Actually, Robin started his own startups. I think he's going to present it. And yeah, so what I did, I joined KIT as a PhD candidate with Professor Stock, who's one of the jurors. And the goal is the same idea, to improve it technically and hopefully turn it into a startup. So this is the background and where I am right now. And I think they asked me to tell you maybe what happens to your future. Beside getting old in the next 2 years, there are a lot of things that's going to happen to you if you choose to go to this path. I think there are a lot of challenges that will come your way. One of them for me is finding a team. It's very challenging. Not everybody is looking to take risk. So if you got a great team, stick to them and continue on the same path. And yeah, financial challenges will be there, but there are a lot of ways that you can overcome them, from funding of the governmental funding or companies that are going to support you financially. Yeah, so this is the challenges. But the great thing is, at the end of the day, if you pursue becoming a startup person or founder, you're going to become your own boss. And I think a lot of us want that, the younger generations. There is going to be, like, you're not going to work 9 to 5, you're going to work 24 hours a day, but it's going to be something that you control, it's under your control, and you know that you're making a great difference at the end of the day. So I'm not talking like somebody who already created her startup, so I'm just at the beginning. I'm kind of where you are, but with a little bit more experience. So I hope that you continue on the same path and you go on with this same idea that you had in SIL, or maybe create another idea, why not? And yeah, continue the same journey. Thank you very much for your time. I hope I didn't go over time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and yeah, sharing a bit about your story. It's always impressive to see that people continue on this path, because also in the seminar I always teach that it's just not like a fun bubble, but it's really hard. So good luck for your journey. Okay, next up we have a video message. Let me just check on my notes. From Robin Goebel. He was a participant also in 2020. He's actually right now in a Exist founders meeting in Munich. So it's really going well for them as well. And we're excited to hear how their journey went on.
Hello everyone, my name is Robin Goebel. I was very happy to hear about the invitation to perform at the Final Pitch 2022 as an alumni in front of such a great audience. Unfortunately, I'm in Munich today because of my startup, so I record a video message for you. In 2020, I was also a participant in the first Student Innovation Lab. You already know my team colleague Nahid. Thanks to her idea, we even won the Final Pitch Challenge. In the meantime, I found my own startup, InventHive, a startup that used a patented sensor to enable automations based on behavior recognition, which has applications in smart homes or retirement homes. How to come up with such a crazy idea, I will tell you now. It all started with my studies. After my dual bachelor degree in electrical engineering, I switched to the KIT for my master's degree, because I want to be freer in my creativity, get a taste of university life, and maybe even found something. That's why I searched out and tried to attend all lectures on founding from the very beginning. I didn't quite succeed, but one of them stood out. It was the most innovative lecture concept I have ever attended. You guessed it. But at the beginning, I could only guess how brilliant it would be when I saw the advertising flyer for this lecture by random in the secretary's office after the exam period. But I knew one thing, I had to apply for this lecture immediately. And so it happened. A few days later, I was part of an unprecedented concept of lectures for startups, the Student Innovation Lab of KIT. What I particularly liked about SIL, besides the spirit and the concept itself, is the integration of all areas that you need for startups or in business life. As an electrical engineering student, I was also able to build up an understanding of economic side. I was able to apply a lot of things that were not immediately obvious in my startup, such as how important networking is and how to manage projects scrupulously. Attention now it gets interesting. After SIL, I was allowed to pursue my ideas in my master thesis with Professor Stork at the ETIF Institute. Thanks to him. I was then able to prove the technical feasibility for my ideas in my master's thesis. And therefore I pursued the idea further. Yes, my sensor can really recognize people behavior. With our sensor, a smart home can now automate it in such a way that really understands its occupant. This means that suitable automation such as lighting control, heating or shutters can be controlled according to the situation in the room. Suitable for a comfy evening watching TV, the house party or a dinner with your girlfriend. But not only that, we also recognize, for example, when a person has an accident, and then our sensor calls the emergency. We are the first startup to offer a smart home solution for young and old that really understand its residents. To found a real startup, you need a team, and after my thesis, I was alone for a while. Besides job ads for co-founders on LinkedIn, I went to all startup events, the Pioneer Garage, the Gründerschmiede and online events. When I found a potential team, we went hiking at the Black Forest. There we put ourselves to test a bit and got to know each other better. Now the time had come. I had a team and could send off my exit application. Well, we still had to work out a few things, which took more time than I had imagined. But it worked out, thanks to this detailed advice from Mr. Blattner. Thanks to him. In general, I want to give you a tip for your foundation. There are many things that you need to do for a foundation, but usually they take longer than they need time to work. Therefore, start immediately in parallel with such things as co-founder research, for example. By the way, if you want to do a part of a startup, we are also looking for people to join us, from financing over developers to someone for marketing and sales. Everything is required. Finally, I would like to give you one more thing. Always get up. Just do it. Trust yourself to follow your own ideas and create huge things. Just do it. Thank you.
So if anyone is looking for a job, I think the job market is quite well. Very well. Okay. Now we have one more insight into not starting a company, but building a community. We have a newest lab with us, the CV for Health Lab, and we have one former SIL participant, Sunny Abraham, who is going to share a bit with you how this community building around this lab is working and maybe if you can be a part of it. I think he should be online with us. So I hope he will now unmute himself and tell us a bit about this.
Quick info from my side, Johannes from Zeiss wanted to in person.
Whoever wants to can speak, yes. Johannes is actually in the jury meeting, so this is not going to work.
Hello. Can you
hello.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi.
I'm sorry, I had some issues with my microphone. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there because I'm kind of down with COVID. But yeah, so yeah, the community was basically an idea that we had come up with when we started the computer vision for health lab, and the idea was basically to not just stop the idea as when we do it in SIL, but to carry it on. And we've been looking through a lot of ideas, and we're looking forward actually to getting more students involved in this area. It's a growing market. I was working with the BATCAM team also, and when we were doing a market research, we found out that there are like the market's like about 1 billion in the next 10 years. There's a huge growth and potential that's there, and we would like to explore a lot about it. So I'm just looking forward to getting students to be involved in it. We're going to start group discussions. We would get a lot of expert advice from the team at Zeiss. We're also planning some hackathons, and probably in the future we would also participate in a few challenges, which is focused around the computer vision for health. So if anyone is interested in this idea, please get in touch with me. We will also send out a form later so that you can get in touch if you're interested in this. Thank you.
Get healthy soon. Get healthy soon, yeah. All right. With that, I would say we take another break because we are still waiting on the jury, and I think they need a bit more time. So I will say we will meet back here at 25. Okay, be on time and enjoy. All right. I would ask anyone to come back and take a seat. I see our teams are already very excited to know who won. They're already all sitting down. Perfect. Professor Stork, you can stand up again. I'm sorry. Let's just ask me. So, give us a bit of an insight. How was the jury discussion? Please take it. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, this one was this and this one was that. So there was a long discussion, as you maybe mentioned, noticed. Yeah. So from that point, should I already say what was the decision? Huh?
Well, we were looking forward to that now.
Okay.
So I will, give you the stage on your own, and we will start with best presentation.
Okay. The best presentation we found was E-White. No? And the best product. No?
Maybe first we hand over.
We hand over. No? So congrats. No?
Wow, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No, only we need a place to stay for that.
Genau, to have it.
One quick look in the camera. Yes. Congratulations. One together, maybe. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay, now is the case for the best presentation, and the best presentation was Batcam. No? Sorry. No? The best product. Yeah, the best product was Batcam. No? Please come over. No? Thank you. So congrats to the team. No?
Thank you.
So.
Now we also have the darling of the day, and I have the honor to actually tell it. And we have a double winner, so congrats to Batcam. Maybe in the middle?
Should we take both?
Yeah, that's what I... Thank you so much. Maybe you, I don't know, you won 2 awards, and I also would want Ewade also to come on stage and just say a couple of words to winning this.
Sure. That's really impressive. Like, I think to us, we didn't know what to expect when we started that whole SIL event. And we didn't know where we will end up. And as you can see today, we end up winning 2 awards, having a super impressive SIL event today. And we really want to thank all of you, all of the organizers of that SIL event, all of the audience, all of the other SIL participants, all of our supervisors, Simon and Johannes and Sonny at home, and of course our audience and Michi at home. He's right at the screen there. We want to thank all of you, and that really motivates us all to further participate and further conduct our product to create the best product for the people who need it the most. Thank you. Thanks. Nothing more to add. I think it was a great time for us all. We all learned a lot of things with great support from the Antecno and from all the team which stood behind. It was not only great fun, but also a lot of progress within a short time. So yes, thank you very much again.
Yeah.
So thank you all. Thank you to the teams. You all did an amazing job. It was an amazingly interesting afternoon, and as you can see, I'm also now looking forward to the networking event. I just wanted to say also thank you to the audience who participated virtually, to the audience here, and thank you to the guys behind all this. We have had an amazing technical support today from Pionier Garage, but also, yes, again, to everyone who was involved in the organization. Thank you, Zeiss, for hosting us. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of the evening. We here will have now a bit of a networking and I think a little party later on. And to you at home, have a nice evening. Thank you.